Right, how you doing all? Out with the camera, bliss. It's Friday afternoon, had a mental morning. Dentist, wife had dentist, dog walk. Oh, just people, pain in the ass. So I'm finally out with the camera. I was going to go up into Dartmoor because I've seen a new place online that I want to visit on Dartmoor, which I've never been to, but anyway, that's for another video. So I'm coming to the coast. Luckily, any of you that probably don't know that watch my channel, I live in a town called Brixham, which is on down in the southwest in the West Country on the coast. In fact, this weekend's pirate weekends. There's going to be a town full of pirates, so I'm going out while them lot come in. But yeah, I'll put a few maps up on the screen or pictures up on the screen. I live in a place called Brixham. It's lush, little fishing village, trawlers and all the rest of it. I've got amazing coastline beside me. Every weekend, walk the dog, me and the wife. In fact, a couple videos back, I shot up somewhere called Berry Head. I can't remember what I called the video now. Is it possible to take a decent shot in midday sun or something like that? That's up near Brixham, Berry Head. It's on, and from there, you can go all the way down the coast to a place called Kingswear, which eventually is the entrance to the River Dart. But yeah, and from Brixham, from Berry Head all the way down to Kingswear, there's an amazing piece of coastline that I walk pretty much every weekend. It's not the whole lot, I do little bits. Because I'm with the wife and I've got the dog, I don't bring all my ND filters out and all the rest of it. I've literally just sling the camera over me shoulder and just grab little snapshots whilst walking about. I mean, ideally, a lot of portrait shots really, because you know, the pathway goes up. When you look back, you've got the long coast foreground, long coast clouds and all the rest of it. Sort of like magazine front cover shots really. So I'm going to go down every time we do the walk. We walk the dog, Coco. We walk past this little spot and I always think, oh, it's a hell of a shot looking up the coast. If I get some nice clouds and some nice rushing water, bit of a long exposure, you know me, might be a nice shot there. So my plan is to walk down to this little bit and see if I can get a shot. Got all my filters in my bag. I want to go down and see if I can get, instead of a normal static shot, I want to see if I can get a bit of a long exposure. There's some nice clouds around at the minute. It's high tide now. I think it's on the turn about 20 past 12. Might be a little bit of B-roll because it's a lovely walk down to the bit of coastline. In fact, in the summer, cracking place to come down and have a swim. So yeah, see you down there. Look at that. How lucky am I? What a piece of coastline. That's looking north towards Brixham. In fact, you can see right up there, that's the headlands, that's Berry Head. There's a lighthouse on the end of there. And the last video I shot, I was this side of it in there. But it's this kind of coastline all the way down. See the pathlet that wanders, verandas on and through and up. Amazing. And every now and again, there's horses on this path as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's the north there. If I take you around. That's the coastline which carries on all the way down to Kingswear. Lush. I'm guessing these boys down here maybe coming to get their crab pots. I've got to walk my ass back up there. Easy coming down, look well fit, bouncing around over the hurdles. Woo. It's going to kill me going back up and I'm going to wish I wore shorts. And no comments on the air. I need a cut, but I've got a wedding next weekend, so I'm trying to save it until then. Call me tight. No, I'm not tight, I just can't be asked to get my hair cut yet, having it cut. Trim beard, do me hair, spruce myself up for a wedding next week. Right, I know I want to kind of shoot north. I'm going to have a little look about and see if I can find a decent composition before I walk down to it, hopefully. Right, just a minute ago I was up on top of there. I've walked around, I had to go the long way because there's bluebells everywhere and the kind of path goes down there and then veers around. I don't want to go making any new paths. So join the path and I've veered and come along down here. I'm thinking, kind of looking up there somewhere. I've still got a bit more headland to my right. And the problems I've got, stability putting my tripod near the edge. It's not a problem, I'm cool, it's quite sturdy here, but when I take these shots, I've got my nice wide angle lens on, but I don't want any foreground of this in this headland, which I'm standing my tripod on. I don't mind the big rocks down there in the foreground, but I don't want to cut it off halfway up. And because it's all grassy here, it's like putting your blinking tripod on a sponge. Sometimes it's nice just to have a sheer drop, woof, so you can go right up to the edge, you know, safely, and then you haven't got foreground to worry about. But I'm going to have a little walk about and see if I can find a composition. Be nice if I could get down to those rocks there. That would be perfect. So you never know. Have a look about. I've come down here and look at the coastline down here. Oh, awesome. I may be going for a different shot than what I was expecting to get. I knew I was going to be shooting up the coast, but oh, this is much better. Lost the soft grassy headland up the top. Clambered down, which wasn't too bad to be honest, like a ladder. But now I've just got rocks all around me, which is lush. So I've got a nice firm place to put my tripod. Oh, it's gorgeous down here. I wish I brought me trunks. Mind you, in all fairness, it's probably a little bit cold at the minute. Give it until July at least. Look at all the movement in the water down here. Hopefully I should find a shot. First of all, I'm kind of thinking that was my main shot. Just kind of looking up there. Unfortunately, it'd be kind of a portrait shot, but then again, with this on the left, I might be able to get a nice bit of a landscape shot in here because I prefer nice big wide scenes. But I know the tide's going out because I checked the tide. It's 1 o'clock now, and high tide was at 12:30. But obviously, if I look at these rocks, I don't know if you can see it, there's a wet line there. That's obviously the tide's going out. Obviously, it will jump up and back, but that's quite prominent. I've been watching it for a while, and I know the tide's going out anyway, so I'm not going to go really any further than this for now. But I quite like from there, I've got a nice kind of circle here, all the way up, and then hopefully a bit of movement in those clouds. I quite like that. As you can see from that little time lapse I put up there, I thought I was just chuck that up there to save me boring you to death. All I was doing was trying to get the height of my tripod exactly where I wanted it. I've got the sun behind me, so I've got to watch it that I don't get my shadow in the shot. I think I may have the shadow of one of the legs on the left, but I can clone that out. I just lobbed my big stopper on, and my exposure time, or to get a nice exposure with a big stopper, I want to keep it f14 because I like the depth of field f14 gives me on this lens. It's quite sharp. And I sort of played around with 30 seconds, 15 seconds, but I think the sweet spot is the light keeps changing. But not that it will make any difference to you, because I could tell you to put these settings into your camera with a big stopper, but the light might be different where you are. So, but I've just gone f14. My first shot without any filters was f14, 80th of a second, focused on the foreground here, ISO 100. And this is kind of what the shot looks like. I'll put it up here. It's all right. Clouds there, nice. It's it's really bright, so I thought I'd just lob the big stopper on. And what have I got? Yeah, playing around, I found 30 seconds was too long. Yeah, I've got 2 shots here, both 30-second exposure, both same aperture, both same ISO, and they're so different. One's really bright and one's dark. But having a play round, 20 seconds looked to be the kind of sweet spot. Yeah, and again, I've got 2 at 20 seconds because the sun's changing and going through the clouds so much, it's changing so quick. But it's nice because in the foreground here, there's like lines and the water's coming up the lines. But I quite like that. I'll put that up on the screen. Unfortunately, it's in portrait format, so it won't fill the screen, but it's all right, nothing amazing. Like I've said in previous videos before, any Muppet can just lob an ND filter on and see what you get. Ideally, I mean, I love my long exposure shots with this white mystical water, but sometimes you need to get the light and the timing just right with the ND filter. When the water comes in, you want like well, depending on the conditions, the water comes into its highest point, trigger the shutter, and then the water goes out and it kind of sucks you into the scene. That's the kind of long exposure shots I like. Don't get me wrong, I do like my witchy water, milky water type thing, but sometimes I'll just have a play around with my ND filters so I can get just the right shutter speed to suck you into the scene. So sometimes I'll blend a really long exposure of the clouds, rushing by 30 seconds, 2-minute exposure, with a 2-second exposure of the water. So you've got the really long sky blurring through, but you've got the really long exposure of the sky for sort of 2 minutes flying through, but then the foreground you've only got 2 seconds. So it's cool, it's lush, look at it. Settings for this shot were, I've got my Canon EOS-R, my Canon 14-35, my Lee big stopper, got 20 seconds, ISO 100, f14. I quite like that over my right shoulder, look. I've got a bit of, got a bit of a crevasse here. It runs all the way up through there. If I can get my camera down there looking up this way, this leading lines of the rocks, the dynamic range is going to be really big because it's dark in shadow there. So I've got the sunlight on this side, shadow on that side. That might be quite a nice shot rushing all the way down. Have a look back there, see what I can find. Sure, I'm going down there. I got a feeling I might get soaked, but kind of get my tripod ready. God, that sun's sharp. The tide's going out, so fingers crossed it won't. Bit slippery now. Oh yeah, baby. I might go back there actually. I don't know if you can see me there. I might go out of picture in a minute. There's a big rock here. I might go behind it because it'd be nice to, you know, ideally I'd like to go on top of the rock there, but ideally I'd like the camera here. But you can guarantee as soon as I get down, the waves are going to come. What a spot. That'll be lush. I've got the wrong filter. Joking me. This is going to be a test for the dynamic range. I'll tell you what, that's just cool, lads. 30 seconds at f8. I'm going to take another shot for me sky. 10 seconds. Might have to merge the two. This is so dark in here. Take one for the sky. Yeah, that's a lush sky shot. Oh, I'll tell you what, if this shot comes together, that will be awesome. And that's as sharp as a flipping gnat's cock. I may have to have a little play with the exposures here, you know, bring down the highlights, definitely bring a lot of the shadows out. Got all the kind of rocks. I've got like I've got the horizon line there, and I've got this kind of 11 o'clock slash in the scene, and wet feet. Just taking a longer exposure now to try and get some detail at this rock on the right. That's enough of being in here. All right, if they're any good, here they are. One major problem about working near the water, everything gets soaked. I'm not sponsored by Lee. You may think I am because I'm always banging on about their gear. It comes to cleaning my lenses and filters. This silver one, Clear Lee it's called. Oh, love it, absolutely brilliant. Get in there, give that a good spray. By the sea, shiny. Sometimes, I mean it evaporates so quick. I don't know what this stuff is, and it smells quite nice. Inside's nice and clean. Look at that. Spot on. You don't want to put your filter back in your filter pouch dirty. Otherwise, when you clean your filters, you're going to put it back in a dirty pouch. And the front lens of my camera. Oh, that's the only problem as well working on rocks like this. There's nowhere to stand. You've got your tripod in one hand, camera in the other, filming on that. Oh, look at the state of that. I know you're supposed to spray the cloth. Get on. Mist, sea water everywhere. And give them a good clean. And all around the glass as well. That's where dust sits. No point in cleaning your front element and then having dust sat on the plastic. Should do a video on cleaning actually, shouldn't I? I don't know if I mentioned, but I cleaned my sensor a few weeks back. Oh, it's quite a while back now. So easy. I was dreading it. Admittedly, I used quite a few swabs to clean it, my sensor, but it was so much easier. In the past, I think I've paid once to have my sensor cleaned properly, because I'm quite anal. Don't change lenses a lot by the coast or anything like that. But yeah, I thought it's so easy, so easy. I'll do a video on it. All right, look at that, brand new, shiny. Right, well, there's a couple pictures there. I don't know if they're any good. It's pretty similar to one of the last videos I did, isn't it? Trying to shoot a decent shot in the midday sun. But that's why we have filters, or part of the reason why we have filters. Go over there and have a look at the shot I was originally going to take, I reckon. Well, I'm not sure if I like this shot. This was the shot I was coming down to get. Camera's there. It's right, it's miles from the edge. I kind of got a little bit of rock here, which I don't think I mind, because I want the, well, I do mind. I wish I could get out further, but I've got 40mm, so I want to use it. I like the kind of interest what's going on down here, and obviously you can see that. And then the scene goes up and you've got this sticking out. So we like got 1, 2, horizon, 3, the clouds. So the shot is kind of going to be looking up like that, and some clouds, and get some movement in those clouds. I'm thinking about a panoramic shot like that, but I'm going to get what I come for first, because to me that's kind of like a nice front cover shot. Woof, all the way up there, loads of writing. So I'm going to chuck you to one side. Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Yeah, the water's quieting down now. I think I'm going to have to go for my big stopper again. It's not rushing about, and it's so bright here. Well, at least it's clean. The big stopper, that is. There you come, baby. I don't know if any of you follow Leaf Filters on Facebook, but if you look back through some of their videos, they post obviously pictures and videos, don't they, on their Facebook page. You'll see some videos from me, which is quite cool. It's nice of them. Oh, right then, here we go, baby. 2-second timer. There's not really much going on in the water. 10 seconds. I don't think the clouds are moving that much. I might have to go for a double filter whammy again and go for kind of like a 7-minute exposure, I think. There's a bit of movement in the clouds there. Oh, this lens is so sharp. Love it, love it. I need to make sure I'm happy with the composition, because if I'm going to chuck another filter on, yeah, I'm going to. If I can get 30 seconds, it's too bright. F18, 30 seconds. Come on, water, move a little bit. I think I'm noticing more of a change in the clouds at the minute. But like I said in earlier videos, I want a proper whoosh with the clouds. I don't want a half-assed whoosh, a proper whoosh. Oh, water's moving now. Getting some movement in the water, could be a good one. Ooh! Oh, that's all right. I quite like that, I think. I quite like that. But I am going to go for a humdinger of an exposure. Ooh, you're supposed to be clean. Right, that there's 30 seconds, F14, ISO 100. What do you reckon? Could it be a front cover of a magazine, maybe? Plenty of room for writing. Right, because it's going to be completely dark and it's a mega long exposure. I need to get me focusing in first, which I'm happy about. Put him onto manual focus, because he ain't going to be able to focus in a minute, 'cause it's going to be too dark. I'm going to chuck this bad boy on. First of all, I've got to put him in a bulb mode. Then I go into menu, bulb timer, enable, 13 ISO 100. Let's give that a blast. 7-minute exposure. See what it looks like when he's done. I'm going to turn you off. I'm going to leave you there for 7 minutes, boring away. Right, people, if I said 7 minutes, did I? Should hear a click. Oh yeah. See what that looks like. Too dark. What I'm going to do is take the same shot again. Problem is, there's not many clouds around now. I'm going to drop my f-stop down to 9. Menu, bulb timer. I'm going to go for 8 minutes. Slightly too dark. I think he's going to be too dark again. I'm just lazy. I could change one of these ND filters for a lighter one, but lazy ass. It's nice to be no rush taking pictures. And I want the really long exposure anyway, because this water's not moving around much, so I want a good load of movement. The clouds are pretty much gone now, which I'm gutted about, but 8 minutes, we get there in the end. Although I've just seen a picture down there, a landscape shot of this headland. But I think the clouds are going to bugger off and I'm not going to get it. But the shot I came to get was this one, so fingers crossed. Still think it's going to be a bit dark, but I can work with that. Right, what do you reckon to that, people? My Lee big stopper, my Lee IRND ProGlass 6-stop, 480 seconds. Is that 8 minutes, is it? All right, people, because me, oh shit. In fact, I'm gonna leave you there and talk while I'm running down. Because these settings ain't really gonna change. Got the sun behind me. I was shooting that last shot in portrait, but I wanna get it now in landscape. So I'm not really gonna change any settings. All I'm gonna do is change my composition. Ooh. Again, shot I did a couple of weeks ago, I had a bloody rock in the foreground. It looks a bit precarious there, but it is quite a nice spot for it to sit. So I've got the sun behind me, trying to view the screen's an absolute pain in my arse. And I've got me focusing in, must remember to turn it onto manual focus, because he's going to try and focus again. Menu, bulb timer, 8 minutes, enable, 2-second timer, bang, 8 minutes. Pretty much the same settings, well yeah, all the same settings as last time. The only thing I've changed is my composition. If it's any good, here's a shot. Fingers crossed I got some decent shots there. It's hard to see because I've got the sun belting down on the back of me. It's mental. I hardly ever use my big stopper for months and months and months. In the last 3 weeks, I've used it twice. So fingers crossed, I've got a half decent shot there. Ain't gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of shooting in the day with a midday sun. I prefer sort of sunrise or sundown, but I just haven't had a chance to get out at those times yet. I'm gonna pack up my gear. I'm not gonna bang my gums to you on the way back to the car because it is all uphill. It's Friday now. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock. I was lucky enough to have today off, but it's a bank holiday weekend. First one of May, is that right? Is that why we've got a bank holiday? I don't even know what the date is. But 3 days off now, so dog walking, beer gardening, just basically chilling out and hopefully getting out again a couple of times with a camera. So cheers for watching. Don't forget that little subscribe button if you want to just give me a little tap. Far away. Failing that, I'll see you in the next vid. Cheers for watching. Cool, cheers, bye. You are having a laugh. I'm getting way too old for this shit. I know what you're thinking, people. I've sped this up. So I'm moving like a mountain lion. Oh yeah. Cheers again for all my new subscribers and anyone that watches. I really, really appreciate it. See you in the next one. Cool. Cheers. Woo. Bye.